here we are, fellas. We made it.
About
What's
damn
good,
time.
everybody? It's your pregame show. I'm Rob Trujillo. That's Spills for the girls. That's David. We need to come up with a nickname for the rookie, but he's cool anyway. And we're here to do your NFL pregame show, which, hey, listen, anything you want to talk about, we will talk about. We're going to go down every game. Some of us here will bet every game.
I don't know why
Money
you're
where
coming
our
in
mouth
here
is. I
with
don't know.
some
Hold on, I'm still
bullshit
doing the
early
intro,
this
Spills.
morning.
If you
I don't know why
jump in on the intro, you know what they say, don't talk over the intro. So, I'm still doing the intro. Some of us will bet on every game right in front of you here. Some of us. Every spread, every game. You know what I mean? Do it right here in front of you. Some of us won't because we don't like you that much. But, we know who those people are. But if you have questions about parlays, prop bets, lines, whatever, feel free to drop them in the chat. We will answer your questions about it. If you have questions about your fantasy lineup, if you have questions about your daily fantasy lineup, this is your NFL pregame show. We want to go over all those things. If you're watching this on a repeat broadcast, because maybe you're normal and you don't wake up this early, like, these guys are giving me shit for doing. Like, I'd still be asleep right now if I wasn't here. Go ahead, hit us up on social media. You can see them across the top there. Those are our Twitters, but you can find us on any social media. Ask us. We'll tell you, man. We'll tell you what we think about, Saquon Barkley scoring 3 touchdowns. And let's start there, guys. Which now, Sterling, I digress. Let me go ahead and give you a second here to complain about me, since I wouldn't let you do it during the intro on this lovely, beautiful Buffalo Bills football Sunday, where we're all back. We all made it. But, of course, Sterls wants to start off with some negativity. So here we go. Go ahead.
No. I think your giant personality sucked all the wind out of this broadcast here for me and Dave. So we're just here for the ride, buddy. We're just here to hang, okay? Whatever you say goes.
Well, I mean, it is. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you drive a show like that. Star Show, what's up, dog?
Man, it feels good. It feels phenomenal. I'm happy to be here with you guys, man. Like, this is, the people who are watching the show only see us as this is our first year doing a podcast together, but we've been doing this for 10 years. The three of us talking about the Bills and football in general. And so I'm just happy to be with you guys. I can't wait to see y'all here in a few minutes, in an hour or so when I drive up. But let's get this damn thing going, man. I'm excited.
David, welcome to week 1 of the NFL season, dog.
Week 1, man, I couldn't sleep. I was up at 4. I was just too pumped up. And then, of course, I made the mistake of hitting Twitter and getting all that dopamine first thing in the morning. I was rocking. It's game day. Bills Mafia is live and active. It's always good. Week 1. Ready for
what's
it.
not live and active is your mic. What's going on there? You're a little crackly. Can we get you locked in, fella? Buddy? Pal? Can we get you locked in?
That's way better.
Okay.
Well, it's still clipping a little bit, but we'll adjust. We'll fix it.
We'll figure it out. This is what we call producing on the air. They tell you not to do it, and I'm literally doing it right now as we go. So, it happens. It's fine. All right, let's start with the real quick. Let's just touch on the couple of games that already happened in NFL Week 1. 2 before we kick it off, which normally we only get 1 before we do our pregame show here, but we're lucky enough to both have a Thursday night and a Friday night game. So quickly, we'll touch on those. The Thursday night game, I think, really just met expectations, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, it totally did. Like, I loved every second of it, to be honest.
Yeah, there were a ton of
game.
things about it, and David's making a face, so I'll go to him first here. But I think it absolutely just met expectations. The Patriots. Excuse me. Why did I do that little Freudian slip? The Chiefs got away with something they're not supposed to get away with.
What?
The Ravens wilted in prime time when it mattered most.
Rob, I know you bet KC against the spread.
Yeah.
I went with Baltimore. I was feeling it, and then I lost by a toe.
Well, I mean, that was dumb. You shouldn't have done that. So there we go.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, do you know how many betters? And like, there's video of who's the Barstool guy? What's his name?
Big Cat.
There's video of him losing, I think, and of course they put their bet totals on there, and he's a millionaire, so he's like, he lost $300,000 because of a toe. It's like, oh well, that's what happens when you bet $150,000 on the game or whatever. You know what I mean? Sterl's quick thoughts on that first game.
Whew. Is Xavier Worthy? I've been telling y'all this offseason. He's good. And the Chiefs, he's in the perfect situation. No, don't say hold on nothing. Because I told you, you should be done. Okay. I told you that the way they were using him in preseason made me think like, oh shit, like he's explosive. We knew he was explosive from his measurables.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wasn't a secret.
But the way they used him, he's a big part of that offense, and it showed. It showed. And I mean, I was excited to see. I love, like, you know, I don't like it for the Bills, but I do like it for the Chiefs in terms of like, man, they got themselves a weapon. They went and got themselves a weapon. I could appreciate that because we need weapons.
Would the Bills have been able to use him? Like for the Chiefs, they had the Tyreek Hill playbook. So all they did was say, okay, you're gonna do the things that kind of Tyreek did in your own way, but we already had the playbook. I don't know if we would know how to use that.
We can't use that excuse anymore, Dave. It's 2024. And listen, these guys, these coordinators talk to each other. They all know each other. They work together in the offseason. Like, there is no excuse. If you have a weapon, you gotta leverage every resource you have.
You better figure it out.
You got to figure it out.
You better figure it out.
I don't disagree. All I'm saying is,
listen, here's the thing. So, what's up, Riley? Thanks for jumping in the chat. Again, if you guys have questions on your bets, your fantasy teams, your daily fantasy, whatever, make sure you hit us up. Drop them right in the chat right there, and we will talk about them as soon as we're done with whatever topic we're on. Just real quickly on Xavier Worthy and the Chiefs. His speed is incredible. He's absolutely a weapon. He's not like he doesn't scare me yet. But Rob, he scored 2 touchdowns. I know. Okay, I watched the freaking game.
That doesn't scare you?
Just calm down, buddy.
I'm not worked up, buddy. Okay.
Calm down. Just chill out over there, all right? Listen, those 2 plays were schemed perfectly for him. The jet sweep was incredibly smart. It was a fucking whole student body, right? I mean, the entire offensive line was in front of him, and he walked into the end zone. It wasn't like you could have done that with a lot of receivers around the league. Okay. It wasn't like it was special because of his speed. 1. And then 2, the second play where he scores a touchdown is a blown coverage. I mean, he's standing still when he gets the ball. There's nobody within 15 yards of him. So, like,
let me ask you a question.
Before we get too excited here.
No. Let me ask you a question.
That was an Andy Reid special.
Did you watch the all 22 yet of that game?
No, I did not.
Go ahead. Listen, the drive concept, okay, that they used to free up Rashee Rice, that was because of Xavier Worthy. Like, sure. So the fact that he's on the field, yeah, you're right. It was schemed. But the fact that you have somebody like that on the field is a game changer for that entire offense. 100%. And it opens up the middle of the field. It's going to make Kelsey more effective later down the road. I think, man, my thing is this, and I'll shut the hell up after this. Why can't we just have nice things as the Bills? That's all I want. I just want nice things.
Keon Coleman has not played a snap of NFL football yet.
Got my 0 jersey on this morning.
Take it. And here's the other thing. Everybody who's getting on the Bills for that. 1, Bills were never going to draft him. He just wasn't their guy. He wasn't. So, I mean, you can live in fantasy world all you want, but they weren't going to draft. If they were going to draft him, they would have picked him right there. He wasn't their guy. And so I think you just have to let that go. 1. 2, 30 other NFL teams passed on him. What was the number? 28 other NFL teams passed on him. So where's all the hate for them? Right? Like any of them could have had him too.
But people are still pissed that the Bills traded the pick that got them Mahomes.
I
Then
get
it becomes, we helped build the evil empire, and it turns
Right.
into the meme of the OJ trial and the Kardashian, the Bills losing Super Bowls.
And that's why I'm saying, calm down, everybody. Calm down.
Now, how about Friday night in Sao Paulo? That field looks sloppy. I
That
had
field was awful.
PTSD from
Switching the
my trip.
games up to I mean, listen, field was sloppy, sure, but I think there are just like a couple of real big takeaways from that. One, you should have paid Saquon Barkley.
For
Like,
$1
Man,
million
he
bucks,
looked
you lost
great.
that guy.
He
Get outta
looked
here.
great.
oh my God. He was making people miss. He was behind his pads. He caught a ball that I think, God, I was gonna say 60%, but I'm gonna say 50% of NFL wide receivers wouldn't catch on that
Right.
touchdown pass. And my biggest takeaway from that is both those quarterbacks are here,
Mm-hmm.
and like, hope Jordan Love's fine. Last I heard was sprained MCL, which should be all right at
3
the
to
end of the
6
game
weeks.
there. Freaky little thing. But I thought Jalen Hurts looked fantastic. I really did think he looked good. I thought Jordan Love looked fantastic. And as we search for who the next quarterback is in the NFC to kind of step up and take that, Jordan Love is right under our nose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the two of them, Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts, have now gotten something that most quarterbacks in the league, especially nowadays, don't get. They got time. They got time. They got to learn. They got to see NFL defenses. They got to practice. And that kind of patience doesn't happen a lot nowadays. And you saw it, those two quarterbacks Friday night, Sterls, looking like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, and I guess from some of the conversations that we've had this offseason, like I wanted to see if Jordan Love was real. And, it looks pretty good. Like he got his money and he showed why the Packers invested that much money into him. I like what he was able to do. I mean, he took command of that offense. He made some really good throws. It just sucks that, he got injured at the end of the game, but I think they said that it was a MCL. Like,
yeah.
They don't know how
MCL.
long he's going to be out, but it's not season ending, so that's good.
And just a sprain, not a tear.
Yeah.
So
NFL.com has it at 3 to 6 weeks as of this morning.
Which a sprain is a partial tear. Don't at me, doctors. But you know what I mean. David, what were your thoughts about that game?
So obviously Saquon looked like Saquon. Not like, oh, I'm coming back. I'm slowly getting there. I'm figuring it out. He looked like prime Saquon. And with that chip on his shoulder, like the Giants could have paid him. They have room and they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but he looked great. But can we talk about Jayden Reed for a second?
Oh man, he's good.
I got some people who have him on fantasy who were super pumped. I know if you are on Twitter, Bill's Twitter at all, Bruce Exclusive was in love with Jayden Reed, and it looks like the world figured out why. He looks good, man. And that young receiving core in Green Bay, I mean,
I was going to say not just him. I mean, the whole receiving core. You kind of looked at it last year like, okay, which one of these guys is going to take that step to be the guy? You know what I mean? To really be a go-to NFL quality wide receiver. They all kind of took that step last year. Coming into this year, you're like, which one of these guys is going to take this step to be an all-star, to be that number one that you can count on? And damn, they all look good. I mean,
Dobbs, Watson, Reed.
Yeah.
That's a good looking offense. You worry if your QB's out, QB1's out 3 to 6 weeks at the beginning of the season,
and it's a good way to build it too. Those guys together from the beginning, because that way everybody's pulling for each other. You know what I mean? Did you see how happy they all were when one of them was having success? I mean, that is what you need in that room. If there's any question how much ball there is to go around. So, all right. Anybody else want to drop a thought in on either of those two games, or should we move right along here?
Keep it moving.
All right. We start off the week. By the way, your boy 2-0 on the early games, 1-0 on the middles, and so I'm just going to tell you right now, my picks are going to be shit. Because
Oh, don't say
So
that
I
now.
will. No, I'll give Rob credit. He is the master of the middle. He is the master of the middle.
it is my favorite thing to do because it is betting when you have to bet the middle when something goes wrong for the team that you're betting on. And as long as you're not overly emotional about it, I mean, it's pretty easy, right? Like a team gets a touchdown scored on them, punts the ball away the next drive, and you're like, this is the time. This is the time to bet that middle. So, but let's get those starter bets down first. We'll start with the Battle of Florida, or one of the ones that you could have. Jacksonville and Miami. Jacksonville catching 3 in the hook, 3.5 points as they head to Miami to kick off the season. And if you listen to our NFL pregame show, what I had is 2 possible division winners here. So, see, we have to address the troll. Yeah, we're just gonna. Yeah, go ahead, click on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're gonna spotlight him.
Let's just get it out. Yeah, let's just get it out of the way.
Oh
Stills,
no,
go ahead. Do you want to?
So, Milkman, did Roll Tide win the championship last year? Did your team lose offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach, the whole coaching staff? You got 12 new starters. Okay, 7 of those of which are on offense. Or no, 9 of those are on offense. Like, come on now. Like, don't even do that. Texas is a great team. They deserve to win. Michigan, they don't have a quarterback, and they make offense look hard this year. Like, it's hard to put up another great season like that after an undefeated season, mind you. So yeah, man, you can get your little dig in. Like, Michigan lost, it's all good. But who's still the reigning national champions? That's all I got to say. We are still the champions until someone beats us. So I ain't got nothing else to say to you, dog. It's all good. He trying to F up my vibe today. And he can't.
I can't ruin week 1.
You can't ruin week 1 for me, dog.
I mean, you did get blasted though. So like I turned it on and then fell back asleep, and then I woke up and the game
it was a snoozer. It's all good.
it was not. All right. Well, so yeah. Listen, love you, Sterls. Milkman, I know you're just here to troll. I don't know why you take pleasure in other people's like pain or whatever, but you got awful quiet last year when, here's the thing. If you showed up when your team's lost and faced the music,
right,
I'd have respect for you. You can come in and talk noise. I got no problem with a little bit of trash talk. But when your team loses and then we don't hear from you again, I was in an exam. Oh, yeah. This is exactly what people do. They try to cover, right?
That's a long ass test. That's a long ass test.
So when your team loses and you don't show up to face the music, I got no respect for that, dog. I got no respect for that. So yeah, listen. If you want to come in and talk noise, come in and talk noise, but you better be here to get the lashings when it's time. You know what I mean?
He said, "I'm being honest on God."
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, here we are. Anyway, all right. So, Battle of Florida, Jaguars catching 3 in the hook, and an interesting quarterback matchup, I think, here, because I think maybe Tua, in a lot of people's eyes, has moved above Trevor Lawrence. And I think, personally, I feel like this year, Trevor Lawrence is going to be on a mission a little bit to make good. So we'll start with you, Sterls. What do you think about this game?
Man, this is gonna be a really good game for the early slate. We get to see what the Dolphins' defense is going to look like. I mean, we know what they're going to do offensively, right? That offensive line is going to have to show up today. I mean, the Jaguars have a stout front, but I'm excited to see what this Jaguars team can do. They got a nice little rookie over there, Bryce Thomas Jr. He's going to debut. He's going to be able to take the top off of defense. So if betting men that we are, I'm gonna take the Jaguars, man. I'm gonna take I would take the money line here. Give me the money line, bro.
First game of the day. He's going
upset,
money line.
baby. Upset.
Yeah, you got your phone out? Did you just put that bet in? Oh no,
because that's what I'm doing right now.
Cool. Yeah, right now. Yeah, no, totally. David, what you think about this game?
I mean, The Dolphins just paid Jalen Ramsey. I don't know how they can afford to pay everybody like they're a top tier. And Rob, I know you think people think Tua has moved above Lawrence in people's eyes. Maybe not skill wise. Production, sure. When you got that kind of receiving core, you can do that sort of thing. When you got that run game, you can do that sort of thing. I don't want the Dolphins to win, but I think they're on a mission. I think Trevor Lawrence will have a good year. I'm not expecting him to be magic or anything, but I'm gonna take the 3.5 and go with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm taking the 3.5 as well. You're taking the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So you're all right. So that's laying the 3.5. It's going to lay the 3.5. I'm going to take the 3.5 and take the Jaguars. I think it's going to end up being a field goal game. I think this one's going to end up being real close. I think these teams, if you look at their roster, are actually real close in level wise. What they're not close in is name recognition, but what they are close in is talent on the roster.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're that far apart when you compare them. And that's kind of crazy. But it just goes to show you, at least for me, what I think they've been building down in Jacksonville. I know they fell off at the end of last year, but I mean, that was a Trevor Lawrence injury. And if you look pre-injury and post-injury, those are two different teams. I think they had one loss before Trevor Lawrence got injured. I mean, they were looking like they were going to run away with the AFC South. All of a sudden, Trevor Lawrence gets injured, and now they're a bad football team? No, man.
Right.
Quarterback is important, dog. And so, I think they're going to impress this year. And listen, Florida Heat, normally when I talk about September games in Florida, that is something that I bring into the equation. I think it's fair to talk about the September Heat down in Miami.
Sure.
I think that does play a factor a lot of the times. I mean, these
It's
are
hot in
Jaguars.
Jacksonville too.
Yeah, it's hot in Jacksonville too. Right, exactly. That's my point. So I'm not worried about it. I'll take the 3 points. I think this ends up being a close game. Dolphins might squeak it out at the end, but I think it's a close one. All right, we'll move on. Steelers and Falcons. Steelers catching 4 points. And this is funny because it's such a interesting matchup to me for week one. Because it is one team who has gotten all the glorious, beautiful headlines of the offseason, and one team that has taken all the slings and arrows of the offseason, particularly around quarterback, but also just around roster construction in general. You are kind of hoping that Mike Tomlin is just the poison pill for all the bad news that you had going on in the offseason, and that he can just make it all better. Whereas the Falcons won the offseason, and how many times have we seen the team that wins the offseason end up doing nothing? So, David,
Right.
Steelers headed down to Atlanta to face the Falcons. Steelers getting 4 points there.
I really like the Steelers defense. I guess Russ is potentially not playing. So is it Justin Fields? Is Justin Fields your guy? Is he going to lead the that whole situation doesn't look good. And when you look at Atlanta, I know we talked about them, Rob, you even had them, hitting the playoffs and making some moves on last week's show. So I don't know, man. It looks like it's all Atlanta, but you got a defensive line and linebackers like they have in Pittsburgh, and you have a chance. You always have a chance. I'm going to have to go with Atlanta on the spread here.
Atlanta leaving the 4 points, all there down there for the Dirty Birds. Strauss, what you got for this game?
Hey, this is going to be a really good coaching matchup. Mike Tomlin, Morris, these guys are going to go at it. They're very familiar with each other. I mean, the Falcons have kind of been an offseason darling, but I do like what they've been able to do this offseason. I think they can control the game on the ground, get Kirk Cousins flowing, get these playmakers going. The Steelers at their quarterback position, Justin Fields, I just don't have much hope. We know the Steelers defense might keep this game close, but I don't think they have enough on offense in terms of the quarterback position to win this game. So I'm going to take Atlanta -4 on this one.
Atlanta -4. I'll take that as well. It's interesting. I just don't know. I guess I'm believing that Atlanta's defense is going to coalesce here quickly, and that's maybe my biggest concern. I'm not 100% sure that they've had enough time to get together, and that's how you could lose a stupid game like this. But everything points to the fact that the Steelers should not win this game. And yet, when that happens, the Steelers somehow win openers because Mike Tomlin. So I'm wary of it, but I also will take the Falcons -4. Monk 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, whole bunch of fives. I just want my Chargers to move back to San Diego. I think we all do, dog. Like I feel so bad. They play 17 away games a year. You know what I mean? It is that stadium is not friendly to them, and I have a feeling that they might move again at some point here, but might not be back to San Diego. You know what I mean? Also, if you're in here for the first time, thank you for listening to your NFL pregame show. Like, subscribe, follow. I don't know where you are finding us, but we appreciate you for finding us. If you want to drop us a like, subscribe, or follow, depending on where you are. We do this every Sunday morning, 8 o'clock Mountain, 10 o'clock Eastern. We just run down all the games and talk about all the bets. That includes your fantasy team. If you've got fantasy questions, daily fantasy questions, bet questions, we are more than happy to sit here and answer them for you. I know, LA. I feel and people in San Diego do hate LA. Like, it's amazing that that's where they ended up. And yeah, Buffs got absolutely blasted,
Wrecked.
That
But
game.
that's good for Pat. That's his birthday present. Sterles, that's what you can get him. You can get him a CU loss to Nebraska.
Oh man, should I
Yeah,
give him a buff shirt and bring it to him today?
Huck the Fuskers on that one. All right. As we move along here, Vikings at Giants, and it's not often in week 1 you have a game show up that is completely and totally uninspiring, and is going to be 2 of the more dog shit teams of the league. And yet we found it. Vikings, Giants, the starting quarterback matchup of Sam Darnold versus Daniel Jones. If that doesn't write the headline, I don't know what does. This, honestly, if I'm being completely honest here, and I hate to do this to Vikings and Giants fans, which we have a couple who are in the chat from time to time, this could be an important draft pick game. And it's week 1. It's week 1.
Did you see the visceral? Like, I had to hold my breath because I was really concerned about what I thought you were gonna say. Like, this is going to be an important game, and then you threw in the draft part. I'm like, okay, oh shit.
Yeah, no, this could be important for draft position at the end of the year. Vikings -1.5 on the road. Giants. I mean, we'll see. Listen, sometimes teams put together rosters and end up being good and surprise you. I don't feel like that's going to be the case here. David, why don't you kick us off? What you got?
Does either team's defense scare you? No. Does either team's quarterback scare you? No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm scared of what they're going to do on the field. So.
Right. Only if you're betting for them. Justin Jefferson is kind of the only shining star in this game that I care about seeing. I know, Rob, you love Dabes. Brian Dable, that's the guy. We kind of look alike, so it's all good. Like, I don't love either of these. I'm going to go Minnesota. I'll go with the spread. This is a game, like you said, 2 dog shit teams that I don't care about. But I'll go Minnesota.
Minnesota -1.5. Really, I mean, they're on the road, so really they're saying they're 4.5-point favorites. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Sterles, what about you?
I don't even want to bet this game.
You have to.
That's
how this
You
works.
have to.
It's like the Giants to me have a better front. Like Dexter Lawrence is on this team. Let's not forget they traded for Brian Burns. They got a good linebacker and Okereke. Kayvon Thibodeau is still here. So, like, I mean, this defense is actually, I think they can play. I think they'll be good. Middle of the pack in terms of like end of the year statistical ratings that they'll be. So I don't know. I say defense is going to win this game. I just don't trust Sam Darnold in these moments at all. And even though Daniel Jones is Danny Dimes is what they call him, he's trash. I feel like he can at least give you something with his legs on the ground. So I'll take the Giants in this one.
I like the Giants too. I think Dable's going to find a way to highlight Malik Neighbors, and I just think that defense is going to give Sam Darnold fits.
Yep.
I think that there's a shell of a good roster in Minnesota. I just think like their mindset is cool. Let's see what happens next year. And so
I love
when
it
you're
from
when
a
you
roster
walk into week
construction.
one like that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you walk into week one like that, I feel like Justin Jefferson's going to get like a hamstring in week 7 and be done for the year.
Sit the rest of the year.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
oh,
that's it.
no, I couldn't.
Yeah,
No.
Can't risk it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So we'll see. All right, Panthers at Saints, an NFC South matchup to start the year. An uninspiring game, no doubt, but Panthers catching 3.5 down in New Orleans. So you get the hook there, which is important. They looked okay in preseason. They played the Bills backups that last game of the year, and Bryce Young looked all right. It's just hard for me to believe in Team Carr down there. Like I just can't.
Right.
I can't do it. So Sterls, what you got here?
I'm gonna take the Saints minus 3.5 here. Carolina is just a dumpster fire right now, from the organization to the ownership to what the hell are they doing with their second year quarterback. I don't even know, is Xavier Legette playing today? Is he injured? I don't know. So yeah, I think the Saints, Alvin Kamara, run the ball, just run the ball. Don't even throw at David Carr, because you talk about middle of the pack quarterback, David Carr, he's awful too. So
He's not awful, and that's the problem. It's part of the problem, honestly.
Yeah.
Because if you have that middling quarterback, you just never get to a place where you're doing anything. You know what I mean?
7 wins, 8 wins during the Bills drought. How many times did we have a quarterback who is good enough not to lose every game and cost us decent draft picks every single year? You're like, 7 wins is a curse. I would rather have the worst team in the league get the opportunity to draft high, pick your guy, or move back and catch some draft picks. This is just not. Oh, it's
rough.
It's ugly. It's ugly.
And you're throwing these NFC games in here, like, give us some good stuff, man.
We're trying to get through the shitty stuff, and you guys, spending lots of time talking about Xavier Legette, who is not on their injury report.
Nope.
So, do we all make picks on that? David, did you make a pick?
I'm going Carolina.
Carolina's taking the points.
I don't trust.
Oh, wow.
No thoughts on that? I don't blame you if I'm just taking it. But
I don't want to talk too much about it. I don't trust New Orleans to do anything. I trust Carolina a little bit less, but just for this bet, I'm taking those points.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah.
Carolina.
Hey, listen.
All right.
It could be close.
It's NFL, they could do it. They could do it. This is the game where if you take. No, I'm kidding. Patriots, Bengals.
Biggest spread of the week.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on this game. Bengals, I think, pull it out. I think we all believe that. But, like you said, David, biggest spread of the week. 7.5 you're getting if you're willing to bet on the Patriots. Go ahead, David. Who you got?
In the NFL, most games are won by, less than 7 points. You'd like to think New England could pull something out, but for me, no, I couldn't. I don't think I can take those points. I'm going to go Cincy. It looks like Jamar Chase is probably going to play, even with the injury. T. Higgins is doubtful. I don't love it. If you take the points, I understand. If you decide that 7.5 is just too much and you go with New England, I get it. I can't bet for New England yet until we see what they actually look like during the season.
Hold on. Before you say anything else, Rob, I think you should tell everybody what your rule is about one touchdown, one score.
It's not one score. It's 10 points. That's my rule is the 10 points.
It's 10 points. It's not 8 points.
Yeah, there's no team in the NFL is if you tell the other team that they are 10.5 points worse than the other team, like I do not bet against 10 point spreads. I don't. And my success rate has been pretty freaking good with that rule in place. I saw an analytics that said like over the past decade, if you bet the underdog every time there was a double-digit spread, you win about 60% of the time. So that's my hard and fast rule. However, I am going to take the Patriots here, and I'm going to take the 7.5 points. I think Ja'Marr Chase is only in there in specific packages. I think they're going to try to work him in slowly as he was out for most of training camp. So I don't think you see a full, Ja'Marr Chase type game. I think T. Higgins is going to be out. I think the Bengals find a way to pull this game out, but the Patriots don't know how bad they are yet. And that's important. If the team still believes, if the team still believes, dog, that Bengals team has been slowly getting worse and worse each year with attrition as players leave because they can't pay them. And I just think, listen, Joe Burrow is going to find a way to win the game.
Yeah.
But I think 7.5 is too much. What about you, Sterls?
I took the Bengals with the points here. Just because this sounds stupid, but I mean, I can't stand the Patriots and everything.
Bengals are not getting points. This is the second.
Well, okay, they might not have a little.
We need to have a betting vernacular moment here.
Here, listen.
You're either laying the points or you're taking the points. If you're taking the points,
I don't care about your effing vernacular. Okay,
yeah, well,
I'm taking the Bengals minus the 8,
minus the 7.5.
And my betting app, it's 8 points, so I'm taking the Bengals. All right, they're going to beat these boys like they stole something.
Ooh, with two injured receivers.
Look, Joe Burrow is still a really damn good quarterback. And I think, having a guy like that does elevate the playmakers that they do have or the lack thereof. Now, they are going to be having a totally new rushing attack, right? So they don't have Joe Mixon anymore. Your boy Moss is going to be toting the rock. So it's going to be a little bit different. I think they have questions on the offensive line still, but this is an inferior opponent. I'm going to take the Bengals here. I think Joe Burrow has something to say this year.
And is it Jacoby Brissett starting?
Yes, Jacoby Brissett is starting for the Patriots.
That's because they don't have an offensive line. All right, Titans, Bears, the next 11 o'clock game, 1 o'clock if you're on the East Coast. Titans catching 4 points, heading to Chicago with a surprise favorite here. I mean, who the Bears are actually good, huh? Right? Do we really believe that, Sterls? Is this just the Hard Knocks bump here, or are the Bears actually a good football team? Granted, Titans aren't great, so it's not like they're catching 4 points against, I don't know, the Bills or somebody like that, but I mean, a home favorite for week 1 here. Your thoughts, Bears, Titans?
Give me the Bears -4. I do like what you're alluding to. I think it's a little bit of both. You get the Hard Knocks bump, but I think they're actually a good team. Their defense, even last year, I thought was pretty good. They got edge rushers, man. They can and they got a solid corner. So, Caleb Williams, man, I'm excited for him. Like, I want him to tear the league up, tear it up, buddy. Like, I think they have, those 3 wide receivers, Moore, right? He's gonna, Odunze.
We all love Odunze. This is
me and you love Odunze. We love Odunze. We wish the Bills would have taken him, but Odunze, he's everything you want in a wide receiver, from the character on and off the field, the route running, the physicality, the hands. Like, he's phenomenal, dude. So yeah, give me the Bears here. This is an Odunze bet more than anything. Okay. I think we need a Odunze jerseys, dog, because that's my guy, man.
That's a nice looking jersey. Like those,
it is, dude.
It is. Bears jerseys.
That orange one. You like the orange one?
Good look. You know what I mean?
That orange. The alternate jersey? No, you don't like that? Is that a black people thing? We like loud colors or what?
With his orange facial hair, he can't wear an orange jersey.
That's too much. That's too
Mr.
much.
Suckless, what do you think about this game?
I agree. I think the Bears defense is pretty good already. They were showing some flashes last year, and you drafted well. Caleb Williams, again, I hope he does well. He looks like he certainly could. Roma Dunze is a monster. I'm looking forward to seeing him for 10, 15 years in the league, making his name recognizable in all homes, not just Bears homes. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. I got the Bears. I got the Bears in this one.
Keenan Allen, Montez Sweat, both questionable for this game, so it'll be interesting. But I'm hesitant because I feel like -4 is too many points. I do feel like there's a hard knocks bump on these teams and these lines. People get too into them. And so, I'm wary of it. But yes, I'll take the Bears. I'll lay the 4 points as well. All right, next 1 o'clock game, Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. Listen, this literally Texans at Colts is what the AFC South came down to last year. I think that the Jaguars are going to have something to say in that division, but no doubt a big game to kick off the season for both of them. Dave, thoughts on CJ Stroud versus Anthony? Oh my God! Can I get
Anthony Richardson?
Get it out.
CJ Stroud versus Anthony Richardson to kick off the year.
This is one of my favorite AFC games of the week. I really like the potential playoff implications in week 1. Teams that were already battling at the end of last season. I'm not as high on Indy until they can actually put it together. So I'm going to go CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. But this is a game that I want to watch. Probably after I watch the Bills game, watch that one in kind of close detail, because this is going to be a game that could mean something to the league. But I see CJ Stroud coming out. He's got weapons. That defense is good. They're a well-coached team. I'm going Houston.
All right, Sterling.
Oh man, give me the Texans here. I'll take Texans -3. And just FYI, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Colts have a league high of 10-game winless streak in season openers. So I still don't know what to think about Anthony Richardson. He has high upside, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to put it together. So I know what I'm getting in CJ Stroud. So give me the Houston Texans.
Listen, I love CJ Stroud. I do. But he won most of his games last year by the skin of his teeth. Like, let's be honest. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean he played poorly. It just means it was a young team that was learning how to win, and CJ Stroud figured it out sometimes. And that is an incredible attribute to have. However, laying 3 on the road for a season opener, I don't think so. I'll take the home dog. Give me the 3 points. Give me Anthony Richardson. Give me the Colts. And I think this is all just about feel, right? Like, that place is going to be electric. Those fans are going to be like, our quarterback's back. This is an all field bet.
Will Anderson. Anderson.
I think at worst, the Texans win by 3, and I push on that. So I'll take the 3 points at home. Give me the home dog, 100%.
All right.
All right. Last but not least, before we take a little break here, do our commercial question. Yeah, the game of the day for us. You see the apparel that we're wearing. Well, some of us are wearing.
Shut up,
Charles.
Hey, listen. When I get there, I'll have something Bills on.
Still's not a Bills fan, but the rest of us are. So listen, Bills have a lot to prove this year. I think they have completely revamped their team. They're trying to do a rebuild on the fly. And that doesn't necessarily always come with success like it did in Kansas City. So, Sterls, we'll start with you. Thoughts on Cardinals at Bills? Cardinals catching 6.5 points in Buffalo.
Man, to me, this is the hardest game to bet in terms of like the spread, just because we don't know what kind of Bills team we're going to get this year. We've seen the Cardinals play the Bills pretty close. In years past, this Cardinals roster is not that good, but I do feel like if I take my feelings out of it and what I know from watching film, etc., that Arizona Cardinals defense is outmatched against Josh Allen alone. what Josh Allen's able to do. I think he's going to be able to get Dawson Knox and Kincaid involved in this offense. So I'm going to take the Bills minus 6.5.
Wow. Okay. David?
6.5 is a lot. We didn't see anything in preseason that would tell you anything about what the Bills are going to come out with. If they, you just paid Spencer Brown an extension. You hope that offensive line is going to pick up where they left off with the run game last year. You hope the new receiving core completely rebuilt outside of Shakir, who's the only one who's caught a pass from Josh Allen in a regular season game. I don't know if I can take 6.5. Worst comes to worst, I lose a couple bucks and the Bills smash the Cardinals. This is a team they should beat, but 6.5 is feeling tough. So I'm going to go Arizona.
No, he got around to taking the 6.5. Listen, Sterls and I do a Bills podcast Tuesday nights right here on these same channels. Feel free to drop in. We talk only Buffalo Bills during that. And if you listened, I don't feel great. I don't feel great about where we're at right now. That's not to say that I don't think the Bills win. That's not to say that I don't think Josh Allen is a dog. It's just to say, to use Sterl's words, we don't have a lot of time on task here. Okay? There's not a lot of reps for a team that has been completely rebuilt, and that freaks me out a little bit. So I just feel like this is going to be a dumb game. I feel like the score is going to be something like 19-16 or 16-14. It's just going to be stupid. Okay. And last time you played a stupid game against the Cardinals, do you remember what happened?
We don't.
Kyler Murray did something.
I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know what happened, dog.
Kyler Murray did something crazy, and you lost that game. So be careful, Buffalo. Is my warning to you. Now listen, I bet every other game. If you're wondering why I'm looking down at my phone while we're doing this podcast, it's because I'm literally betting every game as we go through. I put my money where my mouth is. The only game I don't bet is the Bills game because I have what I call rose-colored glasses for that team. So I don't bet the Bills game, but if I was betting the Bills game, I would take. Listen, you better hope that dude can play. I would take the 6.5 points just because I feel like it's going to be a close, stupid game all the way down to the end there.
All right, trust our kicker.
Let's not. Can we not have that discussion right now? We don't need to get into Tyler Bass on.
I was about to get depressed.
All right, I'm running a commercial on my Twitch, so I'm going to throw that out there, and we will go to the commercial question, which is where we have a little bit of fun while half our audience is gone. Commercial question this week, I've got two of them. First one is, at what age do you stop buying somebody gifts?
That's a real question.
Yeah, like birthday presents. Because today is one of our boys' birthdays. He watches the game with us. And Sterling in the pre-show is like, oh, man, I got to get him. The dude's 50-something years old, dog. You do not need to get him a birthday present.
You're never too old for a gift, man, for a birthday present.
Yes.
You're never too old.
No, see, store show's like mid-20s, dog. Like, I mean, what are we talking about?
What kind of deprived gift life are you living, Rob? Like,
I'm trying to remember the last time that I got, like, a gift, a birthday gift, like, even Christmas. Now, people have gotten me gifts like just out of the kindness of their heart, and to me, those mean more, right? Like when it's just a random day and you get a gift. But I mean, dude's 50. Rob, you got to show up with a gift for him.
I have a card for him, but I also went and picked up his birthday cake for his wife. So
yeah.
See, that's dope.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, like a little celebration. Hey, we got you a cake. Here's a beer. You know what I mean? Like, cool. Fine.
I'll buy him a shot or two, whatever.
See, that's fine. That's fine.
Tequila.
But like a gift. Come on.
Yeah. The four of us got to do a shot before the game. We're gonna do a shot at halftime. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna propose that we do our shot this year instead of a fourth quarter shot is a 10 a.m. shot.
Hell yeah.
Like just right when we get there,
Get it
quiet
started.
bar. Like let's get in there and do it. So
Hey Rob, why don't you tell everybody where we're going to be watching the game this year, real quick?
well, I was gonna wait for commercial to come back, so I'll just tell you guys that the other commercial question was gonna be: I made some pico de gallo this week, and literally 5-6 hours later, had washed my hands like 3 times, and then put in my contacts, and boy, did that hurt! I mean, it burned so bad. So I was gonna ask you guys what the worst household injury is.
Oh, dude, it's hitting your toe on the corner of.
I was stubbing your
bro.
toe, especially when it's like the middle of the night leak that you get up to take. And you hit your toe on like your desk or your chair or something like. Oh God! Or
The steps down to my basement are only 6 foot tall, and I'm 6'3". The number of times I've taken a divot out of the top of my skull, that's going to be my number one. The toes are bad. The spice in my house is usually pretty intense, but I know better. But
it was like 5 hours later, dog. I was like, "Is this really happening?" It hurts,
dog. It hurts.
So yeah, feel free to drop your answers to those in the chat. That was our commercial question. To your point, Sturls, he asked where we're watching the game today. Shout out to Denver Bills backers. We have made our own Bills backers group. We will be in the back room at Stoney's Uptown, which is 17th and Park, and watching the Bills game there. So feel free to come on out and join us if you are in the Denver area and want to watch the Bills game. They also have other games on in the main bar, and there's a Dolphins group there too. I don't think they take over the whole main area, but they're there. So plenty of NFL action if you want to come down to Stoney's Uptown joint, hang out with us and the Denver Bills backers.
Yeah.
And our sexy shirts that we have. We'll have a 50-50 raffle with giveaways, including concert tickets. What else do we have today? T-shirts, and then the money, of course. So come on down and hang out with us, and you can take a shot with us at 10 o'clock in the morning, because that's what we do here. All right. Moving right along, afternoon games. The Las Vegas Raiders, the former Los Angeles Raiders versus the current Los Angeles Chargers. Raiders getting 3 points as they head to SoFi for a home game, which is why I pointed it out like that, because every time the Raiders play here, much like every time the Niners play in LA, it is a home game for that team. Like I said, I feel bad for the Chargers. It's kind of crazy what happens in that stadium. But make no mistake about it, this is the Raiders catching 3 points at home. So, David, your thoughts on Raiders at Chargers?
Yeah, you hope Devontae Adams can pull something out and help this team. We talked about him last week. The Raiders just look listless. There's no emotion, I don't see it, but you're right. It is a home game. It's week 1. The Chargers have a new coach. They got a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to go the Raiders.
Taking the 3 points.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see. Stills, what you got?
I'm laying 3. This is Michigan NFL right here, dude. I'm
Look
riding
at
with
you.
the Chargers, dog.
Look at you.
Justin Herbert, man, they're gonna have a new emphasis on the ground and pound game. That's Jim Harbaugh's staple. I do think that'll help this offense kind of be more balanced, take a little bit of pressure off of Justin Herbert. So give me the Chargers.
It's real interesting, this matchup. We're going to find out this year either that Justin Herbert is the truth, or we're going to find out that the blue chip talent for the Raiders make it so the quarterback that they have doesn't matter.
Yep.
Gardner Minshew is this generation's Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like, he is just good enough to get you there, but not good enough to actually get you there. And so, I mean, I like Gardner Minshew, especially as a backup. As a starter, kind of tough. But the blue chip talent that the Raiders have is definitely something. Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, maybe Brock Bowers. We'll find out. So there is good top end talent on that team. Problem is the rest of that middle area, not very good in my opinion. And I think that Jim Harbaugh eats that middle area for lunch. Like, that is what he does as a coach, is he is going to grind away at you and find a way to make your worst part of your team the worst part of your team. So I'm going to take the Chargers at home and bet that Justin Herbert pulls something out of his ass to win that game, to be honest with you, because I'm not particularly fond of either team. The debut of Jaden Daniels. Commanders head to the Buccaneers. This is a game where I'll point out September down in Florida. Commanders catching 3.5 points on the road for the first start for Jaden Daniels. Stills, you want to kick us off with this one?
Yeah, Todd Bowles facing a rookie quarterback. That's always going to favor Todd Bowles and the Bucks. So Baker Mayfield coming off his best season as a pro. I'll give me the -4 with the Bucks on this one.
David?
Same page, hot weather. We know what happens in Florida in the summertime, especially early September. It's just gross down there. I think Washington's a year, maybe 2 years away from really putting it together. I'm excited about that team moving forward, but not right now. So I'm going to take, I'm going to take Tampa.
Let's have a real talk about Jaden Daniels. Do you believe he's the dude? I do. I believe he's good.
I think so.
So, first game in the NFL, you think he's not going to show out?
I don't think he will, but it won't be enough.
Terry McLaurin has a 9-catch, 100-yard, 2-touchdown day. You think that Tampa defense is going to just give that up?
I just see Football Night in America, and the headline is Williams and Daniels shine in rookie debuts. And I don't know how good this Washington team is going to be over the year, and I'm willing to concede that they might not be very good. I think in his debut, he's going to show out.
I love Jaden Daniels, man.
I just have a feeling. So I'll take the 3.5 points, even though they're going to be wearing maroon in that heat of.
Also, and if you're betting a prop bet here, Jaden Daniels over 50 yards rushing, I would take him over 50 yards rushing in this game.
That's a lot, dog.
I know, but that's what he's gonna have to do that early on to kind of figure it out.
Little prop bet bonus for you there. All right, next game is Broncos Seahawks. The Bo Nix era begins, and maybe on that Football Night in America.
Let's clap it up for them Broncos, baby. Let's clap it up for them. I'm excited about the Broncos this year, bro.
Start us off, Sterls.
Dude, look. Bo Nix might be. I love a good underdog story, and I love it even more for the Broncos, who've been quarterback starved for years now. I think the Broncos have an underrated defense. I'm not saying they're going to win the division, but man, Bo Nix and what he's able to do, he's an older rookie, and so he's poised. I think he's got the right head coach to kind of steer him along. The Broncos have some weapons on that offense, so I'm riding with the Broncos, man, in this one.
David,
I don't trust Seattle with a first-year head coach coming over, taking over the team, an offensive coordinator from college who's never coordinated in the NFL. I like what Denver's doing. I'm not a huge Broncos fan, but being in Denver, I get to hear all about it. Rob keeps me up to date. I like what they're doing. I think they can put it together. Again, I don't think they're taking anything from the Chiefs as far as division title, but I'll take Denver. And right now, BetMGM shows them a 6.5.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, that spread's way too big. I totally agree with you. So, and maybe it has been my influence on you guys because I feel like I would have the hot take of most podcasts here, but I might even bet money line here. I do think the Broncos can go in and win here. I understand Michael McDonald is incredible when it comes to being a defensive coach. That normally doesn't show itself week one because the kind of continuity, communication, fluidity that you need to have in that defense to make it so effective is something that you develop with, again, to use Sterl's term, time on task. And you don't normally have that week one. I think Sean Payton's going to make a game plan that's very simple for Bo Nix to execute. I think he's going to go out and just get the job done.
Yep.
And I think the Broncos defense is going to be better than people think. I think this is going to be a low-scoring, stupid game, and I just think 6.5 points is way too much. I really do. So I'll take the Broncos plus the 6.5, and if you're feeling cheeky, plus 220 on the money line. That might be the highest money line of the week. 240 for the Cardinals. But, it's up there. That's the second highest money line of the week.
Yeah, that's bold.
If you're feeling it, plus 220, I would have no problem with you taking that bet and seeing if the Broncos can pull off an upset here. All right, Weedham boys, Cowboys headed to Cleveland. Cowboys catching 2.5 points. Stills, why don't you kick us off on this one?
Oh man, Jerry Jones world in Cleveland. I think Dak's going to have a lot to prove this year, man. He's in a contract year. CD just got paid. Dak's looking for his next payday. So I think these Cowboys are going to come out and I think they're going to be really good. Now, I do have questions about, the balance of that offense. I don't think they have anything in the running back room. Rico Dowdle, Zeke Elliott, I'm just not certain. But I do think that offensive line is solid. So I'll take give me the Cowboys minus or plus 2.5.
Yeah, you get 2.5 points there. David, what are you thinking?
And Deshaun Watson's the quarterback, so there's that.
I don't love.
I just wanted to tell you that, David. I know you knew that.
I'm aware. And I don't love Dak Prescott, but I like what Dallas has going on right now. I'll take the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Browns
hard not to.
The Browns are a better roster, no question about it. But they are not going to pull Deshaun Watson in this game, right? I think that is a conversation we are going to have all year long. Is Deshaun Watson playing so poorly he's going to get pulled? He looked terrible in the preseason. He hasn't looked good in 5 years. I just think he's washed. Maybe he's not. Maybe he surprises me. Maybe he comes out and puts up a bunch of touchdowns and I need to reevaluate. Because like I said, that Brown, I know that's not what you're rooting for, Dave, but it is still possible. He has been a quality NFL quarterback in the past. The Browns roster is legit. They have a good team. They really do.
Yeah, they do.
And we spent how much time talking about their defense? I can't even remember. Was that the preview last week? So David, you were here too. We spent a lot of time talking about their defense. They have a good roster, but if you don't have the quarterback play in the NFL, it just doesn't matter. And to your point, Stills, the last time Dak felt like he had something to prove, every time Dak felt like he had something to prove, he came out and proved it.
It's a contract year. I'm expecting him to come out guns blazing.
So if I'm getting 2.5 points to take the better quarterback, I'm taking the better quarterback with the 2.5 points. All right, Sunday Night Football, Rams at Lions, kind of a fun one here. I mean, this was a cool playoff game, sending Matt Stafford back to Detroit. I think we were all happy for the Lions last year. I say that with a question mark. But I also think we all like the Rams, so it's going to be interesting to hear your guys' thoughts on this game. David, what do you think for Sunday Night Football here?
I like the Rams as a team. I think they're going to make a lot of noise this year, but it's a home opener. I think the Lions have a lot to play for after last year. I'm betting the Lions.
Sturls?
Ooh. I think this is like one of those underrated games that could go. I mean, it really could go either way. But give me the better defense in this game. I'll take the Detroit Lions. I'm gonna go money line here.
Ooh,
Lions money line.
Yeah,
you're gonna bet it at minus 225.
Yep.
All right. I mean, that's value I would never. If I'm taking Lions, I'm betting the points. I do agree with you, though. I think the spread is too big, which is essentially what you're saying. You're essentially saying I don't want to bet the 4.5, so I'm going to bet money line. And I do agree with you. So I'm going to take the Rams plus 4.5 is how I'm going to do that rather than taking the Lions money line. I do think the Lions pull it out. I just think it's a close game. It's going to be emotional for a lot of reasons, including Matt Stafford coming back again, including the fact that this is a playoff rematch, including the fact that this team, I mean, the Lions sold out their preseason games because people wanted to welcome the conquering heroes back. This game's going to be an absolute ball. I mean, it's going to be crazy. You're going to have a ton of fun tonight. So I just think it's going to be one of those crazy, emotionally charged games, home opener. And when you get games like that, they're close. It's going to be close. And most NFL games are close. This game, I feel like, is going to be close. So I'll take the Rams plus the 4.5. And I think we're going to learn a lot about these two teams tonight. And then last but not least, before we get you out of here so you can all get to your Sunday football watching, we've got the Jets and the 49ers. Really interesting game here, if you ask me. Jets catching 4.5 points, but flying across the country to California to play the 49ers. I mean, the two maybe most interesting questions at quarterback in the league. Brock Purdy, what is he? I mean, honestly, let's have a real talk about what he is, because after this year, you're going to have to pay him. You're going to have to pay him here soon. I know his contract, I would think, has 2 more years on it, but he's going to be holding out. Like, you're going to have to pay him after this year if you want to keep Brock Purdy. So we got to have a real conversation about who he is. And the last time we saw Aaron Rodgers play a full football season, it wasn't great. No. Everybody's acting like, oh, well, if he's back healthy, that doesn't mean he's back to Aaron Rodgers of 3 years ago. Right. He might be back to Aaron Rodgers of 2 years ago. But that Jets team, like we said about the Browns, like that Jets team, that defense is crazy.
Defense is real.
Yeah, that roster is good.
Yeah.
But guess what? So is the 49ers. So, David, we'll start with you on this one. Your thoughts, Jets getting 4 points to fly across the country on Monday Night Football.
You talked about picking a game based on who has the better quarterback. I don't know if Brock Purdy is a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. I like his weapons a little more. The Jets defense worries me, so that 4 points is tough. I'm still going the Niners. I worry that that's going to be a really close game, and it's going to come down to something stupid.
Thoughts, Sterles?
I mean, I don't know, man. I think Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback, obviously.
Don't pay you for this to say, I don't know, dog. That's not why we're here. Give me your opinion.
It's just tough. It's tough. I mean, you're right. You're right. It's just tough. I would, give me the 49ers. I'm going to take the money line here.
Minus 200.
Yeah.
What's with you in these money? That's not what we do here, dog.
That's what I'm doing here. Okay. I just think
this is why I stopped saying we bet every game against the spread.
Well,
now you're seeing it.
It's all about diversity in this world, okay? And sometimes
an old wooden ship
too. Right. We need it. So I do think a good safety net. I can rely on the 49ers run game. Like I can rely on that. And McCaffrey said that he's going to play. So, I mean, the 49ers, man, this robust offense that they have, I don't know how the hell they're going to pay Brock Purdy, and they're paying everybody else, it seems like. So they're going to have to figure that out in the offseason. But I do think, we're talking about one of the top 3 teams in the NFL this year. I don't think the Jets have the continuity, the time on tasks, the dogs in the locker room when it comes down to the nitty-gritty. Who's going to step up? Who's going to make a play? I don't know if I see that on either side of the ball for this Jets team. So they got to prove it. They got to show it.
I do think they have guys like that.
They have guys who can make plays, but I think like a signature moment. I'm looking for, like, if I need a signature moment, like if we're looking at, the 49ers, I can get a signature moment from McCaffrey. I can get that from Kittle. I can get that from Fred Warner. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, outside of Sauce and maybe Brees on occasion, I don't know who's going to deliver that signature moment when the chips are down. So for that reason, that's why I'm picking the 49ers.
That's interesting, because you would say Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been 3 years.
If there's one thing that you are willing to bet on for Aaron Rodgers, it's making that play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not willing to bet that he's going to throw for 400 yards. I'm not willing to bet that he's going to go for 4 touchdowns. Maybe he does, but I don't think that's his game anymore. I think he's capable of having that game once in a while, but I don't think he's the dominant quarterback like that anymore. What I do think is, if it comes down to that play that you're talking about, I do trust him to make that, because if there's one thing, like, it's not going to be too big for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going home to California, to the Bay Area where I went to college, like, yeah, it's definitely a spicy little +4 for me there. I do like, but I'm not betting against that. 49ers, I do think they are going to have a tough start to the year. There's a bunch of guys who weren't in camp, but Sterles, I think we talked about it on
right.
Tuesday. Trent Williams could roll out of bed. NFL for 2 years and still be one of the best left tackles in the league. The dude is an athletic freak. And so he's going to be, I assume he's going to be in there. I'm not sure. I haven't heard. But if he's in there and they're running the ball, I think that's good enough to beat the Jets. And that's good enough to beat most teams in the NFL, if we're being completely honest.
I agree.
And, you know, you named off a bunch of the defensive stars as well, Sterls. I think their roster is just as good on the defensive side as the Jets roster is. So if you call that a wash, who's got the better offense? 49ers, I think, do. Who's got the better head coach? 49ers, I think, do. And, you know, the Jets have the better quarterback, but is he still that guy? I don't know. Interesting. So I'll take the 49ers. I'll lay the 4 points, but it's going to be a fun game to watch. That's a great Monday Night Football game to kick off the year. All right, fellas. That's it. There we go. That was
baby.
First your NFL pregame show of the year. Any thoughts you want to wrap up with here, David?
Tyreek Hill arrested on his way to the stadium this morning, so that's fun.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's real.
Twitter, brother.
Somebody
I
tell
put
me
it.
about
I put it in the private chat.
And then week 2 Thursday game, Buffalo at Miami.
Well, I mean, come on, give me some details here, guys. You can't just say that. Was it a ticket? I mean, is this
Listen,
no. Like he hit the cop? Who was that golfer that hit the cop?
There's handcuffs involved, is all I know.
Wow.
I don't know what he did. I don't know what happened. He could be innocent.
Yeah, I mean, we're not speculating, but like at the same time, I'm just trying to figure out, like, is this not a deal or is this an actual deal?
I don't know, bro. Like Tyreek he's just been a hot mess with the sperm donating, and the antics this year. Just, man, you just hope the guy can get it together. I mean, this might not be his fault, so I don't know.
It says detained, not arrested, so that's an important distinction, right? Because the cops, if they suspect you of something, are allowed to put you in handcuffs, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're taking you to the station and arresting you.
If you're black,
there's video of him on the ground.
Listen, if you're black and you get handcuffs, you've been arrested, bro. You've been arrested. That we call.
I'm not allowed to talk like that. So, like, if you want to say that,
white folks, listen. White folks, y'all like, well, I don't know. There's still due process. Like, nah, bro. Like, if you
but unless you're Tyreek Hill, right? Like, I don't know. I just feel like he's gonna get the benefit of the doubt. Hill is available to play in the team season opener against the Jaguars. The team said.
Miami Dolphins tweeted 15 minutes ago this morning, wide receiver Tyreek Hill was pulled over for a traffic incident about 1 block from the stadium and briefly detained by police. He has since been released. Several teammates saw the incident, stopped to offer support, and everybody involved is safely.
Jeff Darlington reporting that he was stopped for speeding and got into a verbal altercation with the police, subsequently was placed in handcuffs. He was cited for reckless driving. So there's the official report. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to play. And now not only do you get Tyreek Hill, but you get an angry Tyreek because you know he's going to want to take it out on the field. So, all right, like I said, you can follow us on our social medias. If you've got questions that you still need answers for in terms of who to start, who to sit, what the bets are, feel free to hit us up on there. We will absolutely answer your questions as we get ready for this NFL Sunday. Fellas, any other final thoughts since we had that little Tyreek Hill moment?
Let's go Bills, baby.
That's it? That's all you got?
That's it, baby. That's all we need.
David?
That's it. Go Bills.
Always. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Go Bills is beautiful. Listen, we are going to be here every Sunday. You can catch us live at 7 o'clock Pacific, 7 a.m. These guys are animals. They're making me get up at 8 o'clock in the morning our time. It's crazy. You can catch us every Sunday morning at 7 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock Eastern, or if you wake up late like me and you want to rewatch it, you can always find it on demand, either on our YouTubes, our Twitches, or on Twitter. Go ahead and rewatch the show there and tweet us your questions. We're happy to answer them. Also, Stills and I do a Tuesday Night Bills podcast. I'm going to do a Monday Night Broncos podcast. I mean, Dogs, it's football season. Let's go.
Let's go.
I mean,
baby.
get a little hype. Come on. Come on. I'm going to leave you with a go Bills.
Go Bills.
We'll see you guys next week.
See, this is look at this. Look what you did, Rob.
I didn't do nothing.
Everything is your fault.
I mean,
Everything
that's
is your
probably
fault.
true. That's probably true.